We're now going to look at a topic that's pervasive, really. It's pretty well everywhere. It's a thing called factors and ratios sometimes. Percentages are linked and all of that. And we're going to look at that and get the terminology right. Factors are integers which evenly divide an integer number without leaving a remainder. For example, the factors of 12 are given by the set of elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. 2 goes into 12 6 times, 3 goes in 4 times, 5 doesn't, 10 doesn't, 7 doesn't. So it's only those that go in without leaving a remainder are called factors. It's often possible to simplify expressions involving factors like this by simplifying them down. On the top we call that the numerator because that's the first thing we call it. We say it's 12, it's in the name. And here the denominator on the bottom, 18, 12 over 18. 12 over 18 is a factor. But we can see that they're both even, and we could simplify it by saying divide by 2, and you get 12 over 2 on the top, 18 over 2 on the bottom. That's 6 over 9. So 6 over 9 is 12 over 18. But also we could say, well, instead of saying divide by 2, somebody else spots, you can divide them both by 3. 12 over 3, 18 over 3, they're fine. That's 4 over 6. So 4 over 6 must be equal to that, must also be equal to 6 over 9. Is that as far as it goes, I wonder? Where the numerator and denominator both divided by 3. Now, are there other ways? Well, the term highest common factor is what's used. What we do is we write out the number 12 and the number 18, and for each of them beside them we write the set of all the numbers that they have that go in as factors. So for 12 we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 and 12. And for 18, all of these go in nicely. 9 goes in, 18 goes in, 6 goes in. And if we read back from the end, from the right back in towards the left, we can see that the first number they both have in common is the number 6. Now, they both have 3 as well and 2, but they both have 6, and that's the one furthest to the right. And that becomes the highest common factor. So the highest common factor of that is of 12 and 18 is 6. So it now looks like we can divide both sides by 6. 12 over 6, 18 over 6 is 2 over 3. And 3 is a prime number. It's not even. 2 and 3, you can't make it much simpler than that. That seems to be the neatest, simplest way of writing the factor 12 over 18. We had found 6 over 9. We had found 4 over 6. But that's really the best, 2/3. So, what would happen if they gave you a question like this? Express the following fraction in its simplest form, 160 over 1,000. Well, the slow approach would be to say, what are the factors of 160? 1 goes in, 2 goes in, 4 goes in, and you could write the whole lot out. And you could do the same for 1,000. Now, you'd be there a while. But if you read back from the ends on both sides, you'd say 1,000 isn't in it, 50, no, 250 isn't, 200, 100 isn't, no, 50 isn't, 40 is in both. So 40 is the highest common factor there. So if we divide both the 160, the numerator and the denominator by 40, 4 over 25, we get it in its simplest form. But was there a shorter way of doing this than just writing out all the set? That seemed quite a long-winded way of doing it. Well, an alternative approach is to just start and say, look, 160 over 1,000. I can see by eye that they both end in 0. If they both end in 0, I'm going to divide by tens. And that gives me 16 out of 100. I can see that both of those are even. I'm going to divide both by 2, and I get 16 over 2 is 8, 100 over 2 is 50. Actually, they're both even. 8 divided by 2 is 4, 50 divided is 25. Don't think I can make much improvement on that. 4 over 25 is what I got here. It's the same as here, but I got it without working through all the sets. I needn't have started with 10. I could have started with the 2, but I'd have worked my way down. I'd have found it eventually. I'd have found the right answer by just keeping going. So when I look then, is at the end, is 4 out of 25 the end? When I look at the factors of 4, And they're 1, 2, and 4. The factors of 25 are 1, 5, and 25, and there's nothing there in common other than at the very end, the 1, which says, well, that is the factor, and that's that.